legislature in the summer of 2005, and this bill basically cut off public access television at the pass, with little notice from the paying public. Because of this bill, the telecom cable companies are no longer responsible for public access programming and only need to provide the channel. Previously, they were providing the studio, equipment, and staff assistants to produce the shows. Now, the cities in Texas are responsible for that. That means that cities in Texas are now in the broadcasting business. So we're talking your local city council. Okay? They now are responsible for production, equipment, and airing the shows on the public access channels, or PEG for short. In San Antonio, Time Warner, who is a major cable company, also filed a lawsuit in Texas challenging the 1% franchise fee they are supposed to pay to fund the PEG channels. That's public access, educational, and government channel. When you're listed as a council person, you can have a show also on a public access channel called the governmental channel. In mid-December, 50 local access producers went to speak to the city council. It was a group of people from all sides of the political spectrum, because this is not a right-left issue. It affects all of us. In San Antonio, we have churches that have shows. We have, people that teach dancing, belly dancing. I dance with Karen Dance Company. Karen Barbie Atkinson has a show that will run on the public access channel. We have comedians, and you have a lot more minority people that are doing shows. So we went to the city council, and Mayor San Antonio was more concerned that the government channel not go black. Meanwhile, the public access channel went black on January 1st of 2006 and wasn't broadcasting anything. The government channel did not go black. On January 1st, 2006, it became a watershed moment when the entire landscape for public access television in San Antonio changed. We were left in the position of no longer having a studio to report at, staff to assist us with editing equipment, or for that matter, cameras to shoot video. We formerly had all that available for the contract the city had with Time Warner Cable prior to December 31st, 2005. The studio where we taped the shows was put up for sale by Time Warner, and the rug was put out from under us. 3 months later, we still had no channel on the air and very little information coming from the city when producers called about that. By March, we had received a letter that the city had purchased 3 mini-DV cameras for our use and broadcasting equipment. The city was also mandating that shows be turned in a DVD format. What did that mean for producers who wanted to continue making shows? It meant that you had to have a computer with plenty of memory to be able to feed edit video if you wanted even minimum quality. It meant that you would need to get a camera yourself, unless you were willing to get one of the 3 cameras that the city bought for 185 producers. We had 3 cameras. It also meant that if you did not know how to work editing software, you're going to have to learn, and maybe even purchase the software if you don't have it. And then you're going to have to buy a DVD burner. All this is going to cost you about $2,300, and that's each person. Now, the whole purpose of public access is so that we don't have to buy the equipment. It's supposed to be community access so we can access it. So we lost all of that. And the biggest change is that producers would have to learn how to do all their own production. So what producers right now are actually doing is they're simply converting their old VHS shows into DVD format. And this is not going to produce new shows. So all they're showing really are reruns from the past year or 2 years. So on July 7th, the channel, that's a great start. However, in San Antonio, we consider ourselves to be the test subjects for the canary in the coal mine due to being the first city that the franchise agreement ended activating provisions of the bill. And the battle to keep public access television alive and dry. I believe that few people outside the media activist realm, that is the general public, understand the significance of what has happened and what states. There are 4 other states that have passed similar legislation to Senate Bill 5, and now we have a comparable bill on the national level, the Coke bill. So we're trying to warn other cities in Texas and all across the country that what's happening in San Antonio is going to be happening possibly all across the country, and you're going to lose your public access stations, you're going to lose the equipment, you're going to lose the staff. And meanwhile, the city of San Antonio is still receiving $426,000 a quarter every 3 months from the franchise bill that is supposed to be used for public access. And right now they don't want to even bring up the topic because basically they're trying to keep that money out of sight, out of mind. That money should be used for equipment. We should be able to buy a building. We should be able to have computers. We should be able to have those studios. We should be able to have anything we need with $2 million a year. That's more than enough to buy a small building to do a video.